All right, all right, all right. What is up, everybody? We are back with
What?
Frightmare HQ. My name
We
is
are?
Loyd. Yes, sir, we're back. My name is Loyd Cryer, and I'm here with the ever effervescent Charles Doze. You're so
Me.
effervescent, Charles.
I know. It's just how I live my life. It's hard sometimes,
It's
living this
hard.
effervescent lifestyle.
It's hard being a player, but
You
that's
know,
the way it is.
if it ain't
So,
easy, but that's what I do.
so there's quite a few people watching us right now. We got Meredith Petrie, who is
I know
here. She
Meredith.
says, hey guys. And she also re-upped her Twitch subscription at
Heck
tier
yeah.
1. And it looks like she's subscribed for 5 months. Have we been doing this for
Oh,
5
crap.
months, Charles?
We've been doing this for 5 months now. All right. Well,
Crazy.
what do we do then? I guess we'll just keep doing it, I guess.
I guess
Why not?
so. Who all we got here? Let's see. Ingrid popped in. She said, "I'll be there in spirit. Have a ballistic time." I don't know what that
Ingrid.
means. Have
Either,
a
but I love
ballistic
Ingrid.
time. Ballistic. Well, like we gone ballistic.
I'm pretty ballistic, I'm pretty nuts.
Travis Brown, howdy.
Downtown T Brown, the man,
Bob.
the myth, the legend.
Bob White says, "Sup, Frightmare freaks." What's up, Bob White?
White.
Todd Lewis is here. Chrissy Gilliland. Who else we got? Tyler Burrows.
Chrissy's.
What's up, Tyler?
Let's see. Who else is here?
Yeah, who else is
Everybody's here.
I see
Art
T
Dugas.
West.
T West.
Yeah. David Dugas.
Oh, the Duke.
Stephen Burt.
Bert. Bert makes it hurt.
And Richard Nettleton. Richard
Oh,
never
the man, the
disappoints.
myth. Richard's the man.
And look,
Hard
I
out
just
there to
got
be
iced
Richard.
tea.
Dang, man.
Thank you, honey. It's
You're welcome,
delicious.
sugar pie. I know, baby.
So we're going to
Hello,
talk
baby.
about 1977 tonight.
Yeah. It seems like there was a lot of movies in 77. I don't know how we ended up with such a long list, but the hell. Well, guess we'll be here for a while.
It is sort of a long list, but it's really not. It's about 20 movies. But man, does 1977 kick off with a bang.
Oh, hell yeah, it does.
Yep.
do you got?
Twitch Nate 81 is here.
Twitch Nate, the man, Twitch Nate.
I do see Ingrid still hanging out. Well, let's go ahead and kick it off, Charles. Very first movie,
Down.
right out of the gate, is a blockbuster. Right?
And it is something so phenomenal that it'll make your booty tingle. All right?
I love booty tinglers.
Dude.
All right. So, an American newcomer to a prestigious German ballet academy comes to realize that the school is a front for something sinister. What could that be, Charles? Released in Italy, February 1st, 1977. This is the Italian film of conflicting genres. Suspiria,
Yeah.
directed by Dario Argento. I told you guys we had one hell of a movie right out of the gate.
Well, let's just end it with Suspiria, guys. Suspiria came out, so we'll see you guys later.
That's
Have a
it.
good day.
1977 is over.
What a way to start the year. It's like just pissing on everybody else for the rest of the year.
I know. How are you
It's like
ever
that.
going to top? That's like Metallica opening for, I don't know.
Nickelback.
Nickelback. Okay. All right.
It's a dream concert of mine,
Oh yeah, Metallica opening for Nickelback. Hell yeah. Hells yeah. Dude,
Heck yeah!
I love Suspiria so much. This was a movie that I remember seeing the poster for in my local video store, and no store had it in my area. And I begged the guy at the video store to order it, and he led me on for the longest time saying he was going to get it. I'm going to get it. And finally he was like, you know what? You're probably the only one that'll watch this movie. So he never ordered it. It was years
Son
later
of a bitch.
before I finally saw Suspiria. So, and that's just the way it was back then. You weren't going to see a movie unless, you found a video store that had it.
And that was the way it was back then. I can definitely remember the first time I saw this. I was about 13, and I was already really into movies. Everybody knows, but I remember watching Suspiria, and I was like, "Well, everything else in the world is shit." I was like, "There's Suspiria." I'm like, all right, like what a great movie.
Yeah.
So,
and then you brought in your little synopsis here. You mentioned the Italian film of conflicting genres, and boy, is it ever! I mean, I think it broke.
People fight over the genre.
Created its own genre.
Yeah, people fight over it. I just call it the Suspiria genre. That's what it is.
Yeah. Let's play the trailer for it, and we'll come back and talk a little bit more about Suspiria.
Let's do it.
Roses are red, violets are blue, but the iris is the flower that will mean the end of it.
You can run from Suspiria. You can hide from Suspiria. Suspiria. But you cannot escape. Suspiria. The only thing more terrifying than the last 12 minutes of Suspiria are the first 92.
And that, my friends, is the Suspiria trailer. Me You Fools on Twitch said that guy should have lost your business right then and there. Yeah, I was a kid, so I didn't have much. I didn't have much choice, and I was not of driving age yet, so there was only like 2 video stores in our little town, and it was a sad, sad deal, man. I always think about how lucky we are now with the internet. You can either order any movie you want, or you can find it somewhere and watch it. So I don't know. Back then,
anything
that wasn't happening.
I remember my late teenage years.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying. I remember my late teenage years. I had like a book of movies with all these movies in it that I couldn't find anywhere. That's just how it was. You're like, great. Yeah. Nowadays, you just Google it. There it is.
Yep. Me You Fools also said, did y'all know Argento wanted the cast to be little girls, but the German money people were like, Dario, what the fuck? We can't do that. So they became young adults. Look,
we're not going to talk about Dario, okay?
Dario,
we've seen his movies.
And he's mentioned this before, but he mentioned at the convention that he was at a couple of years ago that this was his take on the Snow White tale. Right? Mm-hmm. Isn't that what he said?
That's what he said, yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. I mean,
so I don't know, but it's a beautiful film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, Suspiria is one of my favorite movies ever. It's a piece of art. I mean, really, I've said it time and time again, but they could just put it up at the MoMA in New York and just show it. I mean, everything on that is beautiful. Really not many, if any, films have come close to what he made for that movie. So, love it.
Absolutely. And everybody knows about Suspiria. If you don't yet, go watch it. According to our notes here, it's streaming for free on Tubi with ads. But Synapse has a Blu-ray and a 4K out, so you can check those out. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. And if you've never seen this movie before, you're probably not going to dig it the first time you watch it. It's probably going to take you a couple of views before you go, oh my God, this is a classic.
Yeah, I guess I can agree with that. Some people, I think, the first time they watch Suspiria, they get a little confused and kind of scared and alone. And I don't care. I like that feeling. I like the feeling of being dirty and. All right, I'm gonna move. All
right, go for it, Charles.
All right. A young woman moves into an apartment which houses a sinister evil. Released February 11th, 1977. It is the American supernatural horror film, The Sentinel, directed by Michael Winner. All right, Lloyd, we got The Sentinel. What do you think?
I love The Sentinel. Wasn't this one that I recommended for the list? If I'm not mistaken, or did you already have it on there?
This is one of your recommendations to put on the list?
Yeah.
Well, so, per Lloyd, it is on the list.
Well, it's got a great cast. Chris Sarandon is in it. It's got John Carradine, Jose Ferrer, Burgess Meredith, Christopher Walken. Beverly D'Angelo. I'm looking at the list, but it's got a huge list of great actors. I love The Sentinel. I think it's a fantastic film. What do you think about it?
Yeah, definitely talking about the cast. The cast is such a weird hodgepodge of randomness. You've got like 10 Oscar winners and Oscar nominees in this movie.
Jeff Goldblum, right?
Not only that, Jeff Goldblum appears in it. Jerry Orbach is in it. Richard Dreyfuss shows up in one scene as a background character. It's very random. I'm telling you, this movie is all over the place. Ava Gardner's in it, if I recall. Yeah. I've seen this one. I like this movie. I think it was a little late to the whole religious horror game. Kind of came at the tail end of it, but it had a fun concept. And I really like the effects that Dick Smith did for it. So, yeah. I enjoyed it. It's a fun watch.
Yeah. It's kind of it's got that Rosemary's Baby kind of a vibe to it with a bunch of other stuff going on. But I think it's a great film. I think it's a classic. And if I'm not mistaken, was this movie made for TV? Or am I mixing this up with something else? I may be mixing it up.
No. I don't think so. It's I think it was an actual release. It was a studio film.
Okay, it was a theatrical release. Okay. Well,
yeah. I may be wrong though, but I don't remember it being a TV movie.
Oh, hey man, you could totally be right. I'm not 100% sure. I just know that it is a.
You could be right too. You never know. We don't know what the hell sometimes. Sometimes you don't know.
Mm-hmm. Let's watch a trailer for The Sentinel. Let's see.
Oh hell yeah!
If I can figure it out, here it is.
There must forever be a guardian at the gate from hell.
No evil thing approach. There is danger. Welcome home.
From the shocking best-selling novel, The Sentinel, rated R.
Rated R.
Is that better?
The Sentinel. So, yeah, go ahead and check this out. I love this movie. I think it's cool. It was really hard to find for a long time there. Up until...
Yeah, The Sentinel was kind of hard.
Yeah. The next movie.
But Shout Factory has it.
Oh,
Shout Factory has a release out of it. Yeah, you can get it. There is a program on its streaming night. So if you guys haven't heard, there's this program. It's a streaming service called Hoopla. And if you have a library card, some people still have library cards, but if you have a library card, you can actually borrow digital movies from them like you're at a library. Mm-hmm. And it's a free service. You just have to have a library card, and this is actually on there, on the Hoopla service. So something interesting to look at.
Hoopla has a lot of cool stuff that other streaming services don't have. And I guess it's just because they're a library service. But like you said,
Yeah.
the way I got my Hoopla membership is if you contact, you can get a Houston Public Library card online, and you don't even have to go to the library.
Yep.
And then you can use that card on Hoopla. And there's also another service out there too that does library rentals. I can't remember what it is, but it's pretty cool. Check it out. That's a great thing to talk about, Charles. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, definitely. It's, I like to point out when people can get something for free, and that's what it is. Just get you a library card. There's some cool stuff on there too, like Loyd said.
Yes, absolutely. I think the last movie I watched on there was Soul Man. I talked about that on one show that I watched Soul Man. But okay, let's go to the next one. A newly hired housekeeper discovers that the only child in her employer's house, an 11-year-old girl, hides a deadly secret. Released March 1977, it's the American horror film The Child, directed by Robert Voskanian, also known as Children of the Night and Hide and Go Kill. I love this movie. I think they shot the movie and redubbed everybody's voice over it. It's super low budget, but I've always thought it was very creepy. The little girl in the movie is creepy. And basically she can, I don't know, should I tell people what the little girl's power is?
I mean, I guess. The movie's been out for a long time, so...
Let's watch the trailer before we do that. Let's watch it. Maybe the trailer gives it away.
The face of an angel. The heart of a killer. The power of the devil.
I want to know who you're meeting in the cemetery.
I don't have to tell you anything.
I'm going to work for them. I'm going to take care of Rosalie Norton. The death of parents when a child is rather young, it leaves you feeling so alone.
I have friends. They do favors for me.
What kind of favors?
You'll find out.
Stay right here. I'll be right back.
All right, who's in here? Rosalie, stop it!
They're going to come and hurt you both. Hurt you bad.
The child wants to play hide and go kill.
Who's in here?
Her power is unearthly.
You go away, Rosalie. Go away and leave me alone.
Her acts monstrous. Her secret electrifying. Of unspeakable evil. The Child, a terrifying thriller.
Okay, that's The Child. I'm curious how many people have seen this movie. I don't think it's very well seen. Arrow put out a nice box set in their American Horror Volume 2 box set, and it's a really nice print. Looks really good. So that's pretty awesome. But I like The Child a lot. It's kind of a favorite of mine.
Yeah. Like we were saying, I've seen it. It's got some weird cinematography, and there's always weird shots. And the director didn't really do anything again. And it's not easy to find. It's you could stream it through YouTube for like $2. They have an SD copy, but it's nowhere near as good as the Arrow copy. You can only get it through that box set you mentioned.
Yeah.
That box set's like $75, something like that. So it's not a cheap get either.
Yeah, I had the first time I ever saw it was on a bootleg VHS tape years ago, and it was terrible. But I fell in love with the movie. It's just, I don't know, it's got a charm to it. It's definitely super low budget, but it's pretty cool. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree, Lloyd.
Excuse me, I want to thank Askatel. Just subscribed to our Twitch channel with Prime. This is Askatel is a 5-month subscriber, so thank you, Askatel.
Dang, Askatel.
Chrissy Gilliland said Rob Zombie used some of that audio in his music.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Wouldn't surprise me though. Zombie used a lot of that music, you know?
Yeah. So the next one is a favorite of mine too. I love this one.
Oh, Lloyd. You always pull out the weird ones, Lloyd. After the death of her parents, a young girl arrives at a convent and brings a sinister presence with her. Debuting March 10th, 1977 at the Paris Festival of Fantastic Films. It is the Mexican supernatural horror film Alucarda, directed by Juan Lopez Moctezuma. Him. He did
that
it.
Guy.
Yeah, I know this movie, though. It was also known as, like, Innocents from Hell, Mark of the Devil 3, and Sisters of Satan in the U.S. That's how it was released.
Yeah. I think I first saw it under the Innocence from Hell title.
Yeah.
And
yeah. I think that's how I saw it, too. I think there was a VHS called Innocents from Hell.
Yeah.
And I don't think I picked up that that's what it was until I pulled up the synopsis and saw that it was Innocence from Hell. I'm like, I know Innocence from Hell. I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Like that movie.
I think this is a movie that had, like, naked people on the box cover. And that's probably one of the things that prompted me to rent this movie. I was like, oh, naked people in this. I'm watching this.
Oh, heck yeah. You're like, yep, let's do it. Yeah, I mean, this is a diabolical film. It really is. I mean, in the movie, you've got Satan orgies. You've got levitating nuns. There's nuns on fire. There's some exorcism. Well, what else do you want in a movie?
Yeah. I think the funniest thing about this movie is that the title, Alucarda, spelled backwards, is A. Dracula.
A. Dracula. Clever there.
So clever.
It's so clever. Oh, Lloyd. Let's watch the trailer for this one.
Okay, here we go.
Todavía no puedo creerlo. Sin embargo, esa destrucción en la capilla fue hecha por alguien que odia cualquier manifestación religiosa. Para ese ser, la capilla fue un terrible antagonista. Cuando yo estudié en la Universidad de París, me fue probado una y otra vez que la posesión diabólica era mera tontería. Fue el resultado de los desvaríos de una mente insana.
¡Daniela! ¡Daniela!
Ellos me enseñaron que la religión era una farsa y una forma de esclavitud, y que había llegado la hora de romper las cadenas de la superstición, el yugo de la mentira y la falsedad. Soy un hombre de ciencia, y ahora me encuentro frente a algo sobrenatural, que en verdad me atemoriza. Esta mujer estaba muerta. ¡Satan! Pero había un hálito de maldad dentro de ella, listo para revivir y atacar a seres inocentes. Eso solo podría ser la obra de lo que ustedes llaman el demonio. Alucarda.
God the Father commands thee. God the Son commands thee. God the Holy Ghost commands thee. No!
Con Claudio Brook. David Silva. Tina Romero. Susana Camini. Adriana Roer. Tina French. Alucarda, dirigida por Juan López Moctezuma.
Alucarda, directed son of Dracula. A Dracula.
Dracula. Hey, Dracula.
Hey, Dracula. So,
hey, Dracula.
Yeah, this was a notorious film, and like Charles and I already mentioned, you probably saw it if you were alive during the VHS days as Innocents from Hell.
Yeah.
I know that Mondo Macabro put this out on DVD, but I don't know if they ever did a Blu-ray or anything.
Just the DVD. The DVD's still available too. There was talk for a while of it being restored and put out on Blu-ray, but I never heard anything else about it.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure, somebody will get around to it because it's kind of a classic. I don't know. It's a notorious Mexican classic, and it's another Mexican film, and that's kind of become our, what do you want to say, our mission to inform people of all the great Mexican films that are out there.
There's so many good Mexican horror films. A lot of them are lost, so that's one of our goals here is to push the Mexican horror films back into the limelight because they need to be there.
So check out Alucarda. I think I'll go to the next one now. This is a lot of people consider this a classic, and it is. It's a classic. It's a movie that I've tried to rewatch after an initial viewing years ago, and I just can't rewatch this movie.
It happens.
Yeah. Henry Spencer tries to survive his industrial environment, his angry girlfriend, and the unbearable screams of his newly born mutant child. Debuting March 19th, 1977 at the now-defunct FilmX Festival in Los Angeles, it's the American experimental body horror film Eraserhead, written, directed, produced, and edited by David Lynch. Oh, Eraserhead.
Oh God, this movie is nuts. This movie is like, I don't even know how to explain Eraserhead. If somebody said, "Can you explain Eraserhead to me?" I'd be like, "Oh no."
Yeah.
Take
a hit of acid, and that's probably going to get us close to explaining Eraserhead. But you might as well just watch it. This was a cult film it's been a cult film forever. I mean, it's something that's been played at midnight movies for years, and I don't know. It's just it's a crazy flick. Everybody knows Eraserhead, I would think, right?
I would think so too. It's been around for quite a long time. It's always been one of those infamous movies. My wife used to work with somebody years back who was related to Jack Nance, who played Eraserhead, Henry Spencer, and he looked just like him. So it always creeped me out. Seriously.
I don't think we're alone in this. Chrissy Gilliland says, "Oh my God, I hate this movie so much." Todd Lewis says, "Man, Eraserhead is a crazy film. It's a shit show."
It's not an easy watch, guys.
Bob White says he hates it.
Everybody's just... I actually like the movie, but it's hard to watch. The guy who played Eraserhead, too, grew up in Dallas. He was born and raised in Dallas. And It's
I didn't
like,
know that.
yeah, it's not it's not an easy watch. Eraserhead's one of those super important films that definitely lays the groundwork for David Lynch.
Yeah.
And it's 100% a David Lynch movie. It's just the only way you could describe it.
Well, it's crazy because I see the need for David Lynch and David Lynch type movies, but they're definitely only a one watch thing for me. I don't think I've ever been able to sit through more than one watch of any of his films. It's crazy.
I'm a huge David Lynch fan. I love David Lynch. If I could have dinner and get really drunk with anybody, it'd probably be David Lynch, because there's no telling what the hell would happen.
Yeah.
I love David Lynch. But it's an interesting one. I mean, and the guy who played, like we mentioned him, Jack Nance, who starred in Eraserhead, he died really young. He died randomly too. Like, he got in a barroom fight or some sort of a fight somewhere, and then he got like a cerebral hematoma and died or something, some sort of hematoma or something. He died from it though, like the next day. It was really random and weird. So, very interesting stuff.
Yeah. Well, somebody asked, Todd Lewis wanted to know, do we have the trailer? Yes, Todd, we do have the trailer. We're going to play that now.
We have one of them, yeah.
All right. Okay, well, there it is. There's the trailer for those that haven't seen it.
Everybody, as you can tell by the comments, everybody loves this movie. So go out there and give it a watch. It's on Criterion for like $30-something, so go for it.
Somebody said it's on HBO Max.
Yeah.
So
because it's HBO, and HBO owns all the Criterion collection, so it's on Criterion. So hence, it's on HBO Max.
Yeah. Well, it is an important film, as much as, it's just, I don't know. I always thought that David Lynch made movies and he was just fucking with people. I always thought that he was just like, oh, let me just fuck with people and make this movie. And
I don't know what's going on with David Lynch, but I love him because I don't think he cares about anything. He's like, I'm making the movie and this weird shit's going to happen. And I think people are just like, all right, fuck it, let's do it.
I remember when smartphones got to be a big deal. He had this app that you could download, and it had like sounds and stuff you could use for your phone ringing. And one of the sounds was a voice that just kept repeating, "My teeth are bleeding, my teeth are bleeding, my teeth are bleeding." And it was like, what?
He's a weird guy, and I love that he just like appears on random stuff every now and then too, like TV shows and stuff. I mean, he's just weird. Like, he just shows up, and he's kind of like a more advanced version of Udo Kier. He just appears and does random shit all the time, It's like, did you see that short he did on Netflix? What was it? About the monkey? What did Jack do? Whatever it was. Okay, it's basically him. He acts in it, and it's him as a detective that's interrogating a monkey at a train station. So, it's amazing. Let's just say that. It's amazing. All right.
Somebody says to check out the David Lynch YouTube channel. Okay. I will tell you, I do love Blue Velvet. I like Lost Highway. So, I get it. But, Eraserhead's a one-time deal for me.
Yeah, like I said, Dune, because with Dune, you have to see what happens to the one time they gave David Lynch a whole bunch of money to make a movie. The one and only time. So, I'm just going to put that out there. And we'll move on to the next one. Kind of another well-known one.
All right.
A stranger attempts to convince a couple that their daughter is actually his daughter reincarnated. Debuting March 21st, 1977 at the USA Film Festival in Dallas, Texas, it's the American psychological horror film Audrey Rose, directed by Robert Wise and starring Anthony Hopkins. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Audrey Rose.
Audrey Rose, man.
It has been a long, long time since I've seen Audrey Rose. And I think there's another movie that I get this one mixed up with. So I'm going to let you take the reins on this one.
Yeah, I mean, Audrey Rose is another one that's kind of hit or miss. I think it's a very underrated supernatural thriller. It tells a great story. Some people really, really don't like it. Some people really, really love it. So it's not anywhere near the standards of like The Exorcist or anything. But I mean, it's a well-made, pretty haunting tale from a great director. Robert Wise directed this, and Robert Wise was a super phenomenal director. I mean, he directed the original Day the Earth Stood Still. He directed The Haunting. He won Oscars for directing West Side Story and Sound of Music. And, this was definitely a well-made film from a well-made director. You can get the feeling of, a lot of tense atmosphere, which he was known for. It's, at times it can be maybe a little slow. You're kind of like, okay, get to the point. But, it's got a lot of just weird awkwardness in it. Yeah, it's pretty intelligent. It's got a great plot. So, I mean, it's something I definitely recommend people, giving a watch to if you get a chance.
Yes. I'm remembering this now because the little girl that's in it, her name is Ivy in the movie. And my daughter's name is
Templeton.
Ivy.
Yeah, Ivy Templeton, played by Susan Swift, right? Yeah.
Susan Swift. One of my daughters is named Ivy. So, yes, now I remember this movie. Susan Swift, she did a lot of movies. She was in a lot of stuff back in the 70s. She was in Harper Valley PTA, which was a big deal. It's a comedy with Dolly Parton, right?
Yeah,
Dolly Parton was in that.
She was also...
Go ahead.
No, I said, yeah, she was in that. She was in a bunch of stuff, though, like you're saying.
Mm-hmm. She did Halloween Curse of Michael Myers in 95. She was in another movie with an unfortunate title called The Coming. But it came out in 1982. Mr. B.I.G. directed that. Bird Eye Gordon.
Yeah, she was in Halloween Curse of Michael Myers, and it's kind of random because, you can correct me, but off the top of my head, I think she didn't do anything for 15 years or 10 years or something, and then she came and was in that movie, and that was the last thing she did.
What was that? Halloween?
Yeah, Curse of Michael Myers.
Yeah,
it's just really random.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. I'm trying to remember what else I remember her from, but she just has one of those faces, as a little girl that's very familiar.
Yeah.
She did an episode of Amazing Stories also.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. She's great in this movie, though. I mean, she's really good in it. Like I said, people sometimes call it a ripoff of The Exorcist. It's not really whatsoever. It's kind of its own thing. But like I said, it's kind of a take it or leave it. People a lot of people say I really hate that movie. And people are like, oh, I absolutely love that movie. And that's kind of what I get from people. So I enjoy it. I think it's a fun watch. So.
Okay, let's go ahead and play the trailer.
Yeah.
Audrey Rose was born in 1959. She died in 1964, and at the moment she died, she was born again. Audrey Rose, the novel of reincarnation, is now a Warner paperback and will soon be a major motion picture. Audrey Rose. It will alter your ideas about life and death forever.
Okay, we're back. So that was Audrey Rose. And you mentioned that a lot of people call it a Exorcist ripoff. It's not, but I think that's probably why it got greenlit, though, when it did,
Yeah.
because Exorcist was such a huge deal. So if they can get a little girl in a role similar to that, you know, they're probably thinking they're making box office with a movie like this.
Box office magic is going to happen, guys.
That's right.
They walked into that room, and they were like, guess what? And they're like, what do you got? Little girl? Some sort of possession type thing. They're like, oh, shit!
Oh, we're in. That sounds like The
$39 million.
Exorcist.
Let's do it. Yeah.
John Kolchak Pertwee says Audrey Rose, the best film since Hopkins did Magic. You know what?
Magic.
I love Magic. That is one of my favorite. I say that a lot, but I have a lot of favorite movies, and that's a great one.
I mean, yeah. I mean, maybe Magic will make it on the list. Magic actually came out after this. It was like 78 or 79, wasn't it?
I think so. I think it was.
Magic's actually a good movie. It's a weird movie. We can get that's for later though.
Yeah,
I
we'll
can
get
talk
to
about
that.
Magic, but you're about to get me to talk about Magic. Stop it! I'm not doing no tricks for you, Loyd. All right.
All right, Corky. Wasn't that
I'm not taking my pants
puppet's
off.
name, Corky, or something like that?
Yeah, it was Corky, something like that.
Okay, next movie. This is a good one. Everybody ready for this goodness? This is goodness in a baked casserole.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. Are we next? All right, here we go. A young woman develops a taste for human blood after experimental plastic surgery, and her victims turn into bloodthirsty zombies, leading to a citywide epidemic. Released April 8th, 1977. This is the Canadian and U.S. co-production body horror flick Rabid, written and directed by David Cronenberg and starring Marilyn Chambers.
Holy crap.
Oh my God, I love Rabid.
Oh, what a clever movie. Super clever.
Super clever. It's basically it's kind of the Canadian take on Romero's Night of the Living Dead kind of.
Kind of craziness, yeah.
Kind of apocalyptic, end of the world kind of stuff, you know. They're picking up dead bodies and throwing them into dump trucks at the end. So when this movie came out in 1977, I was about 6 years old. And there was actually a rabies epidemic in Texas. If anybody was alive in 1977, you'll probably remember this. That all started with animals being sold at First Monday trade days in Canton. They were selling like skunks and all kinds of animals to be sold as pets, and there was a rabies outbreak. And when I saw the trailer for this on the movie, I had to see it. I begged my mom to take me, and she finally took me to the drive-in to see this movie. And thus began my lifelong love of David Cronenberg.
Yeah. Cronenberg. This is Cronenberg's second movie. Super twisted movie, like you said. Very, very somewhat original. I mean, it's almost like a take on a vampire movie too. It's just it's Cronenberg all over it. I mean, really, it's super recommended if you guys haven't seen it. Really, really, really recommend this movie. It's it's totally Cronenberg. It's kind of hard to describe it without giving stuff away, but I mean, there's a lot of weird scenes in it. A lot of that 70s paranoia is in it. I always enjoyed this quite a bit, and I didn't see Rabid until a lot later in life. Unlike you, this is probably one of the last Cronenberg movies I watched. Rabid was.
So I think
that's the same. I wasn't.
I think I found somebody in the viewers that is old as me that does remember the rabies outbreak of 1977. Bob White. He says we're old farts to remember that, Loyd. Do you really remember that, Bob White? Because that's what I remember.
Bob White knows all, man. In that movie, Cronenberg actually wanted Sissy Spacek as that main role, but everybody, studio and other people wanted Marilyn Chambers. She was the porn star because they wanted sex appeal because it was sellable. So Marilyn Chambers got it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Bob Wyatt does confirm that he remembers that. Boom. So there you go. And how crazy is it that rabies broke out and David Cronenberg made a movie called Rabid? And
he knows what's up.
I know.
Maybe David Cronenberg did it. Maybe David Cronenberg was out there selling skunks.
He might have been.
It was him.
He created the whole rabies outbreak so he could make a movie.
You guys want to buy a skunk? You want to buy a skunk, Lloyd? Huh?
I was like 6 years old. I was way too young to see this movie, but my mom was really cool, and my mom was super cool. I got to see Marilyn's boobs in that movie at 6 years old, and it was pretty awesome. Did it change you forever?
Yeah,
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, it desensitized me to boobs. Not really. I still like boobs.
I like yours.
Yeah. Oh Lord! So rabies is fantastic, and like I said, I think I saw rabies before I ever saw Night of the Living Dead, or Rabid.
Oh, cool.
So years later, when I saw Night of the Living Dead, it made me go, "Oh, this was kind of inspired by Romero."
Yeah, and I know I like to look up alternate titles, and I know in Brazil this was released as "Enraged in Sexual Fury," which is a much better name. That's what it should have been called. Enraged in Sexual Fury.
Travis Brown says, "Okay, boomers." Thanks, Travis.
Travis, go sit down, Travis. Go get in the corner with your hat, Travis. All right? You're in trouble. You're in timeout.
Chrissy says in 5th grade in the early 90s, it was part of the curriculum in Maybank. That's awesome. That's very cool, Chrissy. So, Rabid, there you go.
All right.
Seek this movie out. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend seeing everything that Cronenberg has made, probably up until Spider, and then you can disregard everything after or before after Spider, and from Spider and on, you could probably just not watch those.
Yeah, Rabid's also on Prime Video, guys. So if you got Prime, and it's on Tubi with ads. There's a good Shout Factory Blu-ray out there though, but the Blu-ray is like $23, and the version on Prime is basically the same. I'm just gonna put that out there. So do it. All right.
You are Charles. Should we go? We should play the trailer before we move on.
Oh heck yeah, we gotta play trailers for everything, man.
All right, here we go.
You can't trust your mother. You can't trust your best friend. You can't trust your neighbor. 1 minute, they're perfectly normal. The next, rabid. Pray it doesn't happen to you. Rabid, rated R.
Rabid. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Charles, go ahead.
Got it. I know this one too, Lloyd. This is one of Lloyd's choices. I know this movie.
Yeah.
2 women seduce and torment a businessman in his plush San Francisco home. Released April 13, 1977, it's an American horror thriller and death game, directed by Peter Traynor, was also known as The Seducers. I think I know it as The Seducers mostly.
Okay.
Death Game was a really twisted movie that made no sense at all. That's kind of what I remember about it.
Well, I like Death Game. It's weird, and it was remade a couple years ago, starring Keanu Reeves, and it's called the remake was called Knock Knock, and a lot of
Who's
people.
Who's there, Lloyd?
Death Game.
Oh shit! I'm scared. It's gonna scare the hell out of me. God damn!
Knock knock. Who's there? Death Game.
I'm scared.
I don't know. I say check
Jesus
this
Christ.
movie out if you can. It is definitely, it's a remake. Knock knock. It was remade. I think Death Game is actually a remake of another movie, too. And don't get me into telling you what it is, but I'm pretty sure Death Game was a remake also.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, I only think I remember about it. That was, I mean,
okay, I found it. It was first adapted into the 1980 Spanish film Vicious and Nude. So, this movie has been remade twice.
Oh, all right.
Well, it's cool. One of those movies where they keep going, oh, this would be good if somebody did it better. Then they never can do it better.
I remember in Death Game, Seymour Castle had a role in that, the main role, but they dubbed him over his entire role by somebody else, and it was dubbed so bad. And if I recall, the reason they dubbed him is because he refused to come in and do post-production work, because they just redubbed his entire role, which I think is hilarious.
That's crazy when they do that.
It also has a fantastic trailer, so maybe we could play that.
Okay, let's watch it.
Hi, George. Hi, George.
Donna and Jackson are every man's fantasy.
Hug you and kiss you. Love you, George. I want you so much.
I'm glad we knocked on your door, George. Oh, that music sounds wonderful.
But if you're not careful and you turn the sound way up, you could break a lot of glassware.
And one man's nightmare.
Wow!
When Donna and Jackson play, they go all the way. The highlight of the evening is a very special game, Death Game. The object is to stay alive. Donna and Jackson have a game for the man in their lives. A game he'll always remember, but never cherish.
The court is now in session. The defendant is charged with 2 counts. Statutory rape.
Well, I'm going to take a quick shower and get nice and fresh for you.
2 counts. Assault and battery to minors.
I want to make love to you.
George. 2 counts. Perverted and unnatural acts to minors.
He started chasing me all over the house. I tried to get away, but he was too fast.
Yes.
And he threw me on the ground, and he started to. Then he ripped off my blouse.
The court finds the defendant, George Manning, guilty.
Here's your last supper. You better eat it, because in a little while you're going on a very long trip.
Wake up, George!
Donna and Jackson love to live, and they love to play. Their way. Death Game. The object is to stay alive.
The object is to stay alive. Has anybody seen the remake, I wonder?
When they play, they go all the way, just like me and Loyd. That should be our new tagline for the show. We go all the way at Frightmare HQ.
Ollie Tapa said, "This is why I turned down threesomes, y'all." Good idea. You'll wind up in a death game.
Yeah. Oh, there's no escaping. Oh, Loyd.
So I want to say hi to Eduardo Gonzalez, who looks like
Eduardo
just joined us. Yeah, and there was somebody else that I saw that just joined us, and I'll find him in a little bit.
I bet you will, stud. You're good at finding things.
Yeah. So Travis says he's never heard of this, but he saw the 2015 film Knock Knock.
Yeah, I mean, Death Game 2 is one, like, Grindhouse Releasing has literally been working on a Blu-ray restoration of this for, like, 5 years, something like that. Like, They first announced it, like, 2016, and it's still like, guys, coming soon. We're gonna bring out Death Game, and people are like, no, it's never gonna come out. I'm like, good lord.
That's just the way they kind of operate that way. It takes them a while to get anything out. We'll probably see it in about 10 more years.
Yeah, 2043. It'd be like, people be like, what the hell's a Blu-ray? They'd be like, I don't know, we're bringing it out. So
yeah. Annabelle Roman is somebody that I wanted to say hi to that I see joined us as well.
What's up?
Annabelle says, "What up, creepy peeps? Thanks for joining us,
up?
guys."
What up? So if you guys haven't seen this, really, the easiest way to get it is there's this $5 DVD on Amazon that's got like 20 movies on it. It's called Hollywood's Leading Ladies, and it actually has this movie on it under the Seducers title. And that's pretty much the easiest and cheapest way to get this movie.
Yeah, I remember VCI used to have a DVD of it years ago as well. It's got Sandra Locke in it. Sandra Locke was known for being married to Clint Eastwood for a time, and she was in some Clint Eastwood movies as well. So, she was in Willard.
Wasn't Colleen Camp was in it too, right? Because she did a lot.
Let me look. Yeah, Colleen Camp and Sandra Locke.
Yeah, Colleen Camp was in like Clue, and she was in Diary with a Vengeance. I know that. She did a bunch of stuff.
So it's an interesting movie. I don't know how many people are going to like it, but if you want to watch this, if you want to watch Knock Knock, Knock Knock was kind of a universally hated film, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of a hard one because it's like, I don't know if a lot of people like either. If you're into like weird, I don't know, I guess kind of if you're into like revenge or torture type movies, you may like it. So,
yeah.
Take it with a grain of salt, though. It's kind of a hard one to recommend who would like it and not like it.
Yeah, it's definitely of its time, so we'll just leave it at that. Next up, here's another weird movie.
It's a good one.
A scientist creates an organic supercomputer with artificial intelligence that becomes obsessed with human beings and, in particular, the creator's wife. Released April 15th, 1977. It's the American science fiction horror film Demon Seed, directed by Donald Camel. Camel? And starring Julie Christie, based on the 1973 novel of the same name by Dean Koontz. Demon Seed.
Demon Seed.
It's a weird movie.
Demon Seed, though, I think is a must-see. It's in my opinion, it's a techno horror masterpiece. I love this movie. I think Julia Christie is phenomenal in it, and it's got this wonderfully weird, eerie ending. It's definitely one I highly recommend.
Mm-hmm. It is, and I think the first time I saw it, it was as a young kid. It was on TV or something, and years later I watched it on DVD or Blu-ray or something, and it's not a bad movie. It is weird, though. It's basically a computer keeps a woman, traps her and keeps her captive, and weird stuff happens. So
yeah, Donald Camel in this, he directed this with this really fantastically uncomfortable atmosphere. He was a greatly misunderstood director. His movies were never, they were never enjoyed much by critics. He was a very weird guy, suffered from a lot of issues. He committed suicide in 96 with all his issues he had. There's a fantastic documentary about the guy called Donald Camel, The Ultimate Performance, that came out like 20 years ago. It's a great documentary about him. Such a misunderstood and creatively strange guy. So I'd recommend that too.
The other thing that we ought to mention is that Garrett Graham is in this movie.
Garrett Graham's in this.
Yeah, Garrett was a TFW guest a few years ago, so it's cool.
Garrett's been in so much stuff, guys. TerrorVision, Child's Play 2. I mean, just lots of stuff you can throw up in there.
Oh, yeah. So let's play the trailer for Demon Seed.
Yeah.
I cannot touch your body as a man would touch you, but my child shall live as a man among others. Child? My child and yours.
In the privacy of a woman's room, against her will, the inconceivable act. Julie Christie carries the Demon Seed. Fear for her. Demon Seed, rated R.
Demon Seed, rated R.
Rated R.
So yeah, it looks like there's a lot of love in the comments about this one. A lot of people say it freaked them out. Yeah, it's definitely a freaky film.
Yeah. I really like this one. It's got a good score to it. If I recall, a lot of the score was reused from the movie Soylent Green. So, but it worked very well in this. But yeah, I mean, the movie was ahead of its time. It's disturbing, and I really enjoyed this director. Like I said, it's a director who had a lot of personal problems, a lot of personal issues. So I'd recommend seeking out some of his other stuff and watching the documentary about him.
Cool.
As well as Demon Seed, though. Demon Seed's streaming on Tubi for free. Again, there's a good Blu-ray out too from Warner Brothers on that one.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to search that documentary out. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So yeah, next up is another one of my favorites. I love this movie.
Same here.
Small desert town is terrorized by a powerful, seemingly possessed car, and the local sheriff may be the only one who can stop it. Released May 13, 1977, is the American horror film The Car, directed by Elliot Silverstein and starring James Brolin. Oh, I love this movie. Very much influenced by road movies like Duel, you know?
This is a subgenre that I don't believe has been utilized enough. The evil car or possessed car genre. And I've searched down, there's a bunch of crazy movies out there, but it's only been done really well a couple of times. I think Christine was one, and The Car was one, but there was a bunch. There was a bunch of these movies. Duel is a great movie, but I don't know if you can call that an evil or possessed car movie as much as it is a road revenge type of film.
Yeah, it's more of a road revenge. Like you said, the evil car stuff hasn't been done much. You know, you got Maximum Overdrive. Yeah, not too many though. There's some really crappy low budget ones too.
John brought up Killdozer. That was one that I was thinking of. Yes, Killdozer is another evil, not a car, but it's a Killdozer.
Yeah.
There's also another movie that I can't remember where a guy is killer on the freeway or something like that, but it's a guy in one of those old 70s vans, and he puts on this weird like heavy metal fiddle music, and he kills people on the road. I can't remember the name of that movie, but there's a bunch, man. That's just only been done right a couple of times, unfortunately.
Yeah, not very often. Some have, kind of tiptoed a little bit. Like Wraith is almost an evil car movie, but not 100%. It's just lots of stuff in there. What can you say? But I like that somebody mentioned Killdozer because that's a great one.
Yeah, Killdozer.
Good
there's
call.
also one called Wheels of Terror, which is a weird one, and it's kind of hard to find, but there's several out there. I was kind of excited. They had The Car, I think it was a remake or something like a remake. I was kind of excited about that, and then I found out it was terrible.
Oh, the sequel to it, Road to Revenge. Oh, it's absolutely horrible.
That's what I've heard.
Horrible. It's just, yeah. No, let's not talk about. No. Nope.
So, Chrissy Gilliland brought up Nosferatu by Joe Hill. Is that an evil car movie? I didn't know that. NOS 4A2.
That's a TV show they brought out, right?
Yeah, it was like a series. I didn't know that was what
I
that
thought it was a
about.
vampire story. I've never actually watched this. You guys can let us know. I thought it was a vampire story, but it's nothing I've watched or read, so I'm definitely interested. If it's good, let me know.
Yeah, I will check that out because I've been wanting to watch that. But if it's an evil car movie, I'll definitely check it out sooner than later. Somebody said Nosferatu is about a vampire story. I guess they were just bringing that up. It's Dracula, but the car holds all his power, they said. That sounds interesting.
Interesting. I'm down for it, guys. I haven't watched it, but I'm always down for it. Well, yeah, I mean, the car is beautifully shot, though. I mean, there's such great camera work in that. A lot of times when you have some of these desert scene movies, it can just be bland and dull, but that one actually has some really great shots. The car itself was customized by George Barris, who did most of the famous Hollywood cars. It was a Lincoln Continental, I believe, that he had based it on.
Some kind of Lincoln, yeah.
Yeah, but Elliot Silverstein directed this, and yeah, I know Silverstein wrote and directed a lot of the early Twilight Zone episodes, but I'm not familiar with much else he did after that off the top of my head, really. So I can't say anything else with that.
All right. Well, the car is fantastic. Go get it. Check it out if you haven't yet.
Do we have a trailer for it?
Yeah. Let me play that somewhere around here. Here it is.
Is it a phantom, a demon, or the devil himself? There's nowhere to turn, nowhere to hide, no way to stop the car.
There was no driver in the car.
Universal presents The Car.
All right. Well, that wasn't a long trailer at all, but
no, it's a short one.
That's basically the car. The car runs around and kills people. So there you go.
That's all you need. You don't need a long trailer for that. So
You don't. It's a good flick, though.
Yeah, great flick. Definitely recommend, giving a watch. This one's actually on Netflix right now. If you guys have Netflix, and that's kind of a rare occurrence because I can't recall many times the movies we talk about are actually on Netflix. So
yeah,
that's something rare. But Shout Factory has a great Blu-ray of it. It's still out there. It's still available too.
Okay. All right, so the next one, the depletion of the Earth's ozone layer causes animals above the altitude of 5,000 feet to begin attacking humans, and a group of hikers must survive the onslaught. Released May 13th, 1977, it's the American nature horror film Day of the Animals, directed by William Girdler and based on a story by Edward L. Montoro. Day of the Animals was a part of a series of films that came out after Jaws that kind of capitalized on the whole nature run amok thing. And this came out about 2 years after Jaws. I think Jaws is 75. So this movie stars Leslie Nielsen, and he plays an absolute bastard in this movie, which, is... I guess Leslie Nielsen, later in his career was more of a comedic actor, but you just want to kill this guy in this movie. He's such a dick.
Yeah, and definitely, Girdler was riding that, evil animal train because he did Grizzly the year before this, so he was riding that. He was ready to go.
Yep, and Girdler kind of wrote a lot of trains. He directed Abby, which was basically an Exorcist ripoff, and Manitou, which was sort of, I don't know, it wasn't really an Exorcist ripoff, but it was sort of in that vein.
Yeah.
But 3 on a Meat Hook was the first film that he directed.
He did one of my favorite Pam Grier movies too, Sheba Baby. Sheba Baby's great. I love Sheba Baby. I love Pam Grier though. I got a Pam Grier problem, so if you guys can hook me up with Pam Grier, let her know she's always welcome on Frightmare HQ.
Yeah. So there was a whole bunch of movies, the nature run amok thing. After
that was a
Jaws,
big
everybody did it. There were snake movies and killer bear movies and killer animals, all kinds of killer animal movies. So
yeah, definitely was. I really like the score on this though. It's magnificently eerie, and the score was actually done by a really famous composer by the name of Lalo Schifrin, and he's really well known, but I think everybody knows him as the guy who wrote the theme music for Mission Impossible. So that music year from Mission Impossible was him, still used in the Mission Impossible movies, but amazing composer, like 5 or 6 time Oscar nominee. He did scores for Cool Hand Luke, Bullet, Enter the Dragon, Amityville Horror, a bunch of stuff. So really great composer, and this is a really fantastic score he cooked up for this movie. Love it.
Perfect. I think we have a trailer for this. Day of the Animals. Let's play it.
In the shadows of the tall timber, the creatures of the forest gather, a growing horde of beak, tooth, and claw. This is the Day of the Animals. Struggling for survival in a world gone mad, the hunter becomes the hunted. The Day of the Animals is coming, and there's no place to hide. Rated PG.
All right. Yes, Leslie Nielsen wrestles a bear in this movie.
Yep. Of course he does. Why not? Gotta wrestle a bear.
Day of the Animals.
Day of the Animals.
This movie, I remember being a kind of a big deal back then as a kid. You know, a lot of people, went to see this. It was a big drive-in hit, as far as I remember.
I mean, yeah, it's an entertaining film. It's entertaining. It's not really like a good movie, but it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I saw it, but yeah, Leslie Nielsen does wrestle a grizzly bear in it a year after this guy made a movie called Grizzly. So there's that.
Yeah.
And
Christopher George is in it. I love Christopher.
Oh, Christopher George. I forgot he's in that. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Christopher George. Miss that guy. He died in 1983. But he was ago? Yep. But he was in so many great movies. So, and he was a great actor.
Yeah, and I think when I looked, this one's also on Tubi, guys, free with ads. The only Blu-ray of this was out of print, and it was like $80 when I looked it up. So I was like, no,
yeah,
nobody's gonna pay that for Day of the Animals, guys. Watch it with ads.
Charles,
Lord.
you've got a great one. The next one is fantastic.
A young man who believes himself to be a vampire goes to live in a small Pennsylvania town where he tries to redeem his blood-craving urges. Debuting May 18th, 1977 at the Cannes Film Festival. It is the American psychological horror film Martin, written and directed by our favorite George A. Romero, starring John Amplas.
Yes.
Yeah. Martin.
Probably
love Martin.
One of my favorite Romero movies. Definitely at the top of the heap.
Yeah. Yeah. God, I love this movie. It's one too. I always find a lot of people haven't seen because it's not easy to get. It's really not.
Yeah.
It never has been. Thanks to producer Richard Rubinstein, but
Rubinstein.
Yeah. You know his brother actually scored that movie too, Martin. Donald Rubinstein.
Yeah, I've seen that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I mean, Martin is great. It's well acted. It's got a fantastic screenplay in it. John Amplas is so great in that movie. He was a TFW guest once as well. Really, really love this movie, and I really wish we could get a great, Blu-ray of it. Now, this has basically been never released anywhere. So if you do have a region free player, Second Sight is releasing a region B Blu-ray supposedly sometime this year. It's Second Sight is also releasing the Romero Dawn of the Dead box set for the UK, and both of those have been delayed since like last year. So we're waiting for both of them. I know I am. Finally, but you have to have a region free because it's a region B code. So one good reason to buy a region free player is you get some fun stuff every now and then.
Yeah. Let's watch the trailer because I'm seeing that there's several people that haven't seen this yet. So let's go and play it.
It's a good trailer too. So
okay, cool.
My name is Martin. I'm 84 years old. People think I'm crazy when I tell them how old I am. I'd like to be normal. I just have a sickness. The only way I can survive is by drinking blood. It's not easy living the way I do. I have to be careful all the time. But I'm pretty good at it. I think as I get older, I get better. I haven't been caught yet.
Martin, another kind of terror.
You see, people don't understand what's wrong. They think that I'm a monster. They think I'm a vampire. People don't realize that those things I see in the movies are not real. I don't have a whole lot of women. It's nice to watch them. I watch them a lot all the time. I have to be sure that nothing goes wrong. I follow them. I plan. I'm very careful. I have needles now. I can use them. I can put them to sleep. And it doesn't hurt.
Martin, another kind of terror.
I would like to be like everyone else. I have to do things that I don't necessarily like to do, but I want to stay alive. I do need blood.
From the director of Night of the Living Dead, Martin, another kind of terror.
All right, so Martin is a fantastic movie. It's really, really good. If you haven't seen it, I don't know, figure it out, find a way to see it because it's hard to find, man. I mean, you could probably buy an old out of print DVD, but it's going to cost you an arm and a leg.
Even the DVDs are expensive. I'm just going to tell you guys, the movies like this, sometimes, it's worth having a region-free player. I tell people all the time, have a region-free player, and you can actually get region-free Blu-ray players now for basically the same price as a regular Blu-ray player. And it's mainly because we see a lot of stuff in the U.S. a lot later than it comes out in other countries, or we don't see it at all. So that's one of the reasons to have a region-free player.
Yeah.
One example is Shivers, which I just did the video on today, because Shivers came out for the UK 6 years ago, and we just now got it. So that kind of shows you sometimes we have to wait.
Yep.
That's licensing rights,
That is, and especially when you're dealing with Rubenstein, it's a fun bag of tricks. So anyway, we'll move on from that because I think we've talked about Rubenstein before, and people kind of know my distaste for that guy.
love him.
Next one up. Visitors to a remote island discover that a reclusive Nazi commandant has been breeding a group of zombie soldiers.
I love this movie.
Released July 15th, 1977. It's the American horror film Shockwaves, written and directed by Ken Wiederhorn.
Dude, I love Shockwaves. Shockwaves is... It's a low budget movie that was so phenomenally executed. It's so atmospheric, and you got underwater Nazi zombies. What else do you want in a movie?
Right.
Like, this is a fun movie.
Well, that's
It's
really
got Peter
the reason
Cushing in
that.
it.
Yeah, that's you watch the movie because it has underwater Nazi zombies and it has Peter Cushing. And I got to mention John Carradine. I don't think Carradine gets enough props. I mean, I always try to point him out when he's in a film, because Carradine was in so many movies and a lot of horror movies, and he's right up there with Cushing and Lee and all of them.
Oh yeah, I mean, he did for decades and decades. I mean, down to low budget films, but Carradine was even big budget stuff like Ten Commandments and Stagecoach, stuff like that. So
The Secret of Nim. He was in the original Grapes of Wrath from 1940. I mean,
yeah, definitely. I mean, lots of stuff. Definitely agree. But yeah, I mean, Shockwaves. Peter Cushing is awesome there. He's Nazi SS Commander Peter Cushing in that. So that's one reason to watch it. So.
Yeah, and he's fantastic in that movie too. But I love Cushing. He's probably at the top of my list for famous horror actors or some of the big ones. He's just great.
And I get so frustrated. People were like, "Oh yeah, he was in Star Wars." I'm like, "No, no, he wasn't the guy in Star Wars. You dumb son of a bitch."
But it is cool that he was in Star Wars.
Oh, it's cool he was in Star Wars. I hate people always saying, "Oh yeah, he was the guy in Star Wars." I'm like, "No, he's Peter Cushing."
Yeah.
God damn it. Jesus.
Let's watch the trailer for Shockwaves.
All right.
You are now in the deep end of horror. Shockwaves. Once they were almost human.
You mean to say that what we all saw out there is just a mirage?
It was a minor underwater disturbance, with a hot sky acting on a cold current coming from a mile down below.
Something unknown, something unforeseen, something unspeakable lives below, and it lives to destroy. They have risen.
We created the perfect soldier from cheap hoodlums and thugs, and a good number of pathological murderers and sadists as well. We called them the Toten Corps, the Death Corps. Creatures more horrible than any you can imagine.
From beyond the dead, from beneath the living, from the depths of hell's ocean, everything they touch will die in the deep. Shockwaves.
Give me the flashlight. We'll be left with nothing but that oil lamp. You don't need it. I need all the help I can get out there. Now let me have it.
Starring the masters of shock, John Carradine and Peter Cushing.
You are indeed very stupid. Now it is too late.
Now, the total horror has begun. Now, there is no way out. Now, the ocean becomes a graveyard. The faster you run, the quicker you die. Because once they were almost human. Shockwaves, the deep end of horror.
All right, Shockwaves, the deep end of horror. Ali Tapa also brought up Overlord was another good Nazi zombie movie from recent times. That actually was good. Kind of surprised me how good it was.
Yeah, people are mentioning Dead Snow too, which Dead Snow is fantastic. What a great movie Dead Snow is. Overlord was good because Overlord actually used practical effects too, which made it that much better. Shockwaves is a lot of fun, guys, and it's kind of a forgotten one every now and then, but it's another one I say can be shown to a younger crowd too, because despite the synopsis, it's really not that gory. It's a little tame. It was PG rated when it came out, and yeah, there's not much gore, not much blood. There's no nudity. I think the worst word in it is damn. So it's definitely something you could show a younger crowd, Maybe it's a starter movie, one on the list.
There you go. All right, well, let's go to the next one.
Man.
Charles, you got that one.
On the way to California. I'm going to California, Lloyd. A family has a misfortune to have their car break down in an area closed to the public and inhabited by violent savages ready to attack that booty. Released July 22nd, 1977. It's the American horror film The Hills Have Eyes. Written, directed, and edited by Wes Craven. Oh shit, it's The Hills Have Eyes.
There you go. Everybody knows The Hills Have Eyes, right?
I mean, it's still an impressively brutal film. This movie holds up. It's Craven's so top notch in this. Yeah, this is a movie everybody knows. It's Hills Have Eyes. I mean, now we don't have to talk about the sequel because we did that back in the 80s. We don't want to talk about that, but
yeah.
Screenplay can be a little lacking at times, but Wes Craven more than makes up for it. This effectively creepy atmosphere he builds in this movie. So great, like I said, so brutal. Love this movie, really do.
Came out right after I would say Michael Berryman's biggest debut, which was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Mm-hmm. And so it came out like 2 years after One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And this movie kind of put Wes Craven on the map, right?
Yeah, did kind of put him on the map. Of course, he was already, he was already kind of well known. Last House on the Left. This was actually his follow-up to Last House on the Left. I think it's been about 5 years, and it was his follow-up. So he kind of got some notoriety for Last House on the Left, but this one really bumped him up to kind of being able to write his way into a lot bigger movies that was going to come down the road.
Yeah. Let's see. We've got a trailer for this. Let me pull that up. Hills Have Eyes.
Oh yeah, we do. They have eyes, Lloyd. Did you know that?
I've seen that in the trailer. There are
Holy
eyes.
Crap. In the hills?
In the hills.
Holy crap. What do they do with them?
They look at you.
Holy crap, I'm scared.
They just got to look at it. All right, here it goes.
I like to watch.
What began as a vacation ended as a nightmare. The Hills Have Eyes.
That was a bad mistake.
The Hills Have Eyes. The story of an American family who lost everything except the will to survive. The Hills Have Eyes.
Rated R. The Hills Have Eyes.
The Hills Have Eyes, Lloyd.
The Hills
Did you know
Have
that?
Eyes. Rated R.
And I actually really like the remake of this from 2006 too. I thought it was pretty well done.
It was very well done. Pretty amazing that they nailed it like they did. But yeah, good movie.
And just like it, the sequel to the remake was horrible. So they got to go in good form there, So.
Yeah, and then there was another movie that Wes Craven presented that I think his son directed, and they called it, one of the alternate titles was The Hills Have Eyes 3.
Oh, did they? I don't know that one.
Yeah, I
Maybe
can't
I
remember.
just ignored it.
Yeah, I can't remember what it actually was. Mind something. Something like that. I can't remember, but Mind Ripper.
Oh, Mind Ripper. Okay, I didn't know they called it that though. I know Mind Ripper.
Yeah, it was also released as The Hills Have Eyes 3 in some areas. So.
Oh, well, that's an easy sell.
Yeah.
You might as well called it The Nightmare Under Elm Street's Hills, which have eyes for the people under the stairs too.
Yeah, exactly. They should have called it that. That would have been fantastic.
That's what I would have called it. That's probably why they don't let me make movies, because they'd all be ridiculous.
Yes. Am I next, Charles?
You can do whatever you want, baby cakes, all right? You're always
big
next
boy.
in my eyes.
That's what we're going to do.
Not for me. Oh, shit, not this one. Oh, it's another one. Oh, just do me a favor, Lloyd. Just read the synopsis and just start playing the trailer, all right?
Okay.
Do it.
Let me get ready for this. All right. A schoolgirl and 6 of her classmates travel to her aunt's country home, which turns out to be haunted. Released in Japan, July 30th, 1977. It's the Japanese comedy horror film House, or also known as Hasu, right?
Hasu,
directed by Nobuhiko Obayashi. And I'm going to do what Charles says and play the trailer.
That's all you can do.
House.
私あなたを救えなかった。
I see in your eyes where tomorrow is hiding in my heart. There's a bell ringing loud at the touch of your lips. Down the rainbow, I'm sliding. Little arrows keep falling as thick as a cloud.
眩しくて怖いのよ。日の光が。かからないわ。故障よ。
Welcome to Movie Phone. If you'd like to see Hasu, please press 1. If you'd like to see The Hills Have Eyes, please press 2. Everybody was giving me hell because I kept saying rated R. Like Movie Phone.
Damn, Lloyd.
Movie Phone. Bitch, you know I use Movie Phone quite a bit, so.
House. Dear God, House is one of the most amazing, bonkers, bizarre, ridiculous, and freaking crazy, insane, and as Lucas of movies you could never see in your freaking life. There's no way to describe this movie. The whole
and
time
it's
you
out
watch this
on
movie,
a Criterion disc. This is a Criterion.
Oh, this is Criterion.
Film. Yeah.
There's no way this couldn't be Criterion. This is so crazy. I bet Criterion was like, holy shit, yeah, this is doing this. Oh my
Stephen
God.
Bird said nobody's giving you hell. Yeah, I was just kind of saying you were giving me hell, but yeah, I know you guys.
I'm giving you hell. Son of a bitch.
Welcome to Movie Phone. If you'd like to see House, press 1.
If you'd like to see Rookie of the Year, press 2.
1977 horror movies. Well, Hasu is batshit crazy, man.
Oh my God, there's not a word for this movie. You don't even know what the hell you're watching half the time. This
y'all want
movie
me to
changed me as a person.
Y'all want me to do Movie Phone the rest of the show in Movie Phone?
No.
Oh, welcome to 1977. If you'd like to see Star Wars Episode 4, they didn't call it Star Wars Episode 4 back then. They just called it Star Wars. Press 1. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Press 2.
Saturday Night Fever. Press 326.
326. Smokey and the Bandit. 1977. Press 12.
And if you'd like to see Pumping Iron, press 5 for Loyd to lift his shirt up and dance.
Yeah. Oh, somebody said I was. If you know the name, oh yeah, Chrissy Gilliland, welcome to Movie Phone. If you know the name of the movie you'd like to see, please press 1. If you'd like to hear a list of movies, please press 2.
Yeah. On a side note, watch House. House is on HBO Max too because, like we said, it's Criterion. It is on Criterion Blu-ray. I like Criterion, guys, but their Blu-rays are too damn expensive. They're like $35-$40, and it's just like, why?
Yeah.
But, if you could stream this, stream it, because this is a great movie. It's almost worth paying for it, but the streaming versions of Criterion are right up to par with their Blu-ray releases. So that's why, if you can stream it, stream it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it is a pretty movie. It's gorgeous.
Oh,
I mean, the colors and
it's beautiful.
It's fantastic, but it's batshit.
Yeah. And don't do lots of drugs while you're watching it because you'll probably die. So I'm just going to put that out there.
All right, let's get back to normal.
Normal? What the hell's normal?
I know.
What the hell's normal?
Well, normal for us.
Let's see. This is a good one. A couple is terrorized by the vengeful ghost of the woman's former husband, who now possesses her young son. Released in Italy, August 12, 1977. It's the Italian horror film Shock, directed by Mario Bava. It was actually Mario Bava's final film. Last one he did.
Yes. And this spawned a bunch of sequels that had nothing to do with it.
Of course.
But that's
like
what
most
the Italians did.
Yes, we will see Shock 36 in space. It'll be so good. It's starting Burt Lancaster, and it's about a cowboy who goes to Mars. Yes, quite good.
This movie does have Daria Nicolodi, who was also...
she's so great.
Yeah, she was married to Argento for a while.
Yeah, she was in a bunch of Italian movies, Tenebrae, Phenomena, Deep Red. This is her best performance, though, I'll say. She is fantastic in this. Really is. Like a lot of Mario Bava's movies, the story is really simple, but, if you're a fan of his like I am, you'll know the highlight of everything you watch of his is the style and atmosphere that he brings to the movies. This one definitely lives up to it, 100%.
Let's go ahead and watch the trailer for Shock.
Let's do it. Shock me, Loyd. Shock me.
Here comes a shock.
Do it, big boy.
39回の連続ショックにあなたは何回まで耐えられますか？ザ・ショック。思い切り悲鳴を上げてください。
Okay, I know nothing more about that movie having seen that trailer.
What a fantastic trailer!
Kuriasa! Kuriasa! Ooh.
I will shock you today.
Yeah,
I am going to shock you.
That was a very short trailer. That's what people are saying.
That's all you need to know about it.
That's all you need to know. It's shocking.
That's all you need to know. It's shocking. This is another one. Roberto Bava worked on it with his dad. He kind of directed a lot of it too. He wrote it. I enjoyed this one. It's got a pretty good score in it. The score was released on vinyl, and it's a great one to give a watch to. Unfortunately, it's never been released on Blu-ray. There's not a really good copy of it, but it is streaming on Prime and on Tubi free with ads. Just again, it's not the best copy because nobody's ever took the time to restore that movie. So,
yeah.
What are you gonna
Okay,
do?
well, there you go. That's shock.
Yeah,
now
boy.
We're going from shock to schlock with this.
Oh shit, we're schlocking it.
In rural Arizona, the countless killer tarantulas are migrating through a farm town, killing every living thing in their path. Released August 24th, 1977, it's the American science fiction horror film Kingdom of the Spiders, directed by John Bud Cardos. Kingdom of the Spiders, Charles.
This movie scared the shit out of me when I was a kid because I always had bad arachnophobia. That's why it's on the list. It's not the best movie. It's really not. But it was one of the first movies to use spiders as a villain where the spiders weren't like gigantic monsters. You know, there was a movie before this called Kiss the Tarantula that did it. But, I mean, you're not watching an Oscar-winning film here. It's a fun, down-to-earth, old-fashioned B movie that's actually really well put together. Yeah, I enjoy it. You know, Cardos did some other B movies. I know he did 84's Mutant, which I actually like. That's a good one.
And I showed that he was also for Memento, the 2000 movie Memento. He was he was in the transportation department.
Let me tell you about John Bud Cardos because I've actually read a lot about this guy. This guy did so much random crap. He worked as stunts on the Wild Bunch. He was a bird wrangler in Hitchcock's The Birds. And yeah, he was in Nolan's, and he was actually transportation department driver number 2. That was his role in Memento. So this mofo just liked to work regardless of what they would give him.
You gotta do what you gotta do, baby.
I'm pretty sure he was like 80 when he worked on Memento too, so I know he still had a driver's license. What the hell?
Yeah. Apparently he's still
Crazy
around as
dude.
well.
Oh my god, why don't we have him? He needs to come to the show.
We should, yeah.
He'd be so great.
Yeah. It'd be fantastic is what it'd be.
It would be fantastic. I'm not screwing around here, Lloyd.
Yeah. Let's check out the trailer for Kingdom of the Spiders.
Let's do it.
An unknown species of horror is born as science fiction becomes science fact.
If you find any problems out there at the Colby place,
Just keep it to yourself.
He's over at Colby's. He's found another 20 or 30 hills just like the one we burned.
I mean, this right here is scientific phenomenon. As you know, all species of megalomorphs are cannibalistic. If you put them together, they'll kill each other off. They just don't colonize like ants or bees do.
An army of deadly predators, searching, destroying anything in their path. Why did they come? What do they want? In the tradition of the great science fiction thrillers, Dimension Pictures presents Kingdom of the Spiders, starring William Shatner, Tiffany Poling, Woody Strode, and introducing Alta Reese Davis.
The spiders in this area have organized themselves into an aggressive army.
I've never seen anything like it.
One minute they weren't there, and the next minute they were everywhere.
Jump at a girl!
Listen, there's thousands of them out there. We'll never make it.
Why haven't we heard from the sheriff? He must know we're trapped in here.
I'm telling you, I don't think we should chance it.
Your nightmares will never be the same. Kingdom of the Spiders. The next victim could be you.
And it does look like animals were harmed in the making of this movie because I'm pretty sure I saw some squash spiders on the road under those cars' tires.
Yeah, because they use real spiders in that movie.
Yeah. But whatever, they're
pretty
spiders,
sure.
so kill them all, right?
Kill them all! Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like I said, that's a fun B movie watch. I mean, it's not streaming anywhere, but it's like $2 around Amazon. Code Red has a Blu-ray out for it too, so do it.
There you go. Do the next one, Charles. This is one that I asked to put on the list.
A deadly shape-shifting alien infiltrates a country house occupied by two lesbians and proceeds to study their behavior for a sinister purpose. That sounds dirty, Lloyd. You're such a dirty boy. Released in the UK September 16, 1977, it's the British sci-fi horror film Prey, directed by Norman J. Warren. I've never seen this movie, so
You haven't?
I don't know this movie. No, I've never seen this movie.
It's not a great movie, but I thought it should be on this list because it's I don't know, it's kind of a classic from the video store era. I remember seeing it on the shelf a lot, and what I remember about this movie is it was the first movie that I remember they portrayed a lesbian couple in a non-exploitive way. Now, I'd have to go back and watch it to make sure, but it seemed like it was just kind of like, oh yeah, they're lesbians and it's normal. So I thought that was kind of cool. It was the first movie that I ever remember seeing that portrayed it that way without it looking, weird and like it was, some sort of weird thing.
Yeah.
But the front of the box, I remember the guy, he had those weird eyes. Let's play the trailer because
yeah, let's do it.
There's some visuals from this one.
Gotcha.
All right, here we go.
K-2 to command ship. Command ship. I am now in orbit. Proceed with mission.
UFOs, fact or fiction? Space explorers or figments of the mind?
Made contact with human life forms. New identity established.
Are aliens already amongst us?
Command ship. Command ship. Their immediate reaction aggressive. Forced to take terminal action. Continue with mission.
Why are they here?
Success of total operation essential.
For 1,000,000 years, man was the hunter. Now, he is the prey. Prey. Certificate X.
And it had a Certificate X rating. You've never seen this, huh, Charles?
Never seen that one. No.
Yeah.
I think this is it's only like the second or third movie we've done in this whole series that I haven't seen. I think I'll have to watch that one.
Yeah. It's weird. It's British, like you said, but I've always thought it was a cool movie. It's just something that I always remembered from the video store. There's a lot of weird imagery, with the guy as an alien and all this kind of stuff. So if you can find it, check it out.
Yeah, when I looked it up, it's Vinegar Syndrome has a Blu-ray for $20, and apparently it's only streaming on some service called Fandor that I've never heard of before.
Mm-hmm.
It's $10 a month, and apparently they stream independent documentaries, foreign and classic movies. So, if anybody here has used Fandor and it's good, let me know if it's worth it. If not, I'll probably just buy the Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray to watch it.
Yeah, Me You Fools said X rating in the UK is totally different from the X rating in America. Yeah, I figured it was, but
it's like PG here.
Yeah.
I think Aladdin had an X rating there, so I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. No.
The next one is one that I asked you to put on the list also. An expedition treks through the Amazon to find a cannibalistic tribe long thought to be extinct. Released in Italy, October 21st, 1977. It's the Italian sexploitation cannibal film Emanuelle and the Last Cannibals, directed by Joe D'Amato, also known in the U.S. as Trap Them and Kill Them.
Oh.
I'm a D'Amato fan, so that's definitely why I had you put this movie on the list. It's also got Laura Gemser as Emmanuel. Fantastic stuff. I love D'Amato. They're just crazy, crazy, crazy movies.
D'Amato is insane. All right. I mean, this guy directed like 200 movies under like
D'Amato, yeah.
40 different pseudonyms. I mean, what was his actual name? It wasn't Joe D'Amato, wasn't it? It was Aristid, something like that.
Aristid Maseski.
Maseski, yeah.
Maseski. I don't know if I'm probably butchered that, but yeah, Joe D'Amato is not his real name. It's Aristid Maseski. He's mainly a camera person is what he was, a cinematographer. He did a lot of cinematography, and he's a very good cinematographer. But, the movies that, he cranked out were everything from full-on hardcore porn to weird horror porn.
Oh, like every genre. He did like every genre. Like, he named the genre. He made a movie. I mean... He did like 120 like porn movies, like legit porn movies. Among his like 200 other movies. So.
And the adult films that he made were all beautifully shot. A lot of them were period pieces with elaborate costumes and just shot on 35 millimeter, just huge
beautiful cinematography for porn. They don't make porns like that anymore, guys.
They do not. Right? Yep.
I think my favorite pseudonym I know he used was Arizona, Massachusetts. That was one of the was he used for his Western movies. He was Arizona, Massachusetts. Not Massachusetts like the state. It was Massachusetts like his last name.
Right.
I was like, oh my God. He even went so far as he directed a bunch of kung fu movies under the name like Chang Sun or something. Ridiculous. I'm like, this guy's insane. I would have liked to have hung out with him. I bet he was a nutball.
There's so many crazy movies this guy put out, and some really good horror films. And I don't know if this is a great movie, Emanuelle and the Cannibals. It's highly exploitive. But if you're a D'Amato fan like I am, you got to check it out.
Yeah, I mean it's cannibal softcore porn. I mean, it's definitely not as graphic as his other stuff, like Erotic Nights and Porno Holocaust. It's not as erotic as that, but I enjoy this.
Say there are cuts of this movie that were inserted that are hardcore porn, but they did that a lot.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think they did that a lot. Well, I know that they did that a lot, but I think that they did that with this film, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I've seen this, but I've only seen this movie once, so I'm not sure. I didn't see a hardcore cut or anything, but I do recall it being it starts off as kind of a good adventure story. It's got a great score though too. Nico Findinko did the score, and if I recall, he did not most, but a lot of Joe D'Amato's movies. He's a really talented guy. There's a reason why this isn't streaming anywhere, guys, and there's a reason why they're not going to find this streaming. But I think Severed had a Blu-ray, I think, when I looked.
Yeah, I believe they did. Let's watch the trailer for this one.
Do it.
A case of cannibalism. Truly incredible. It could be the scoop of the century. Tell me, whatever happened to the nurse now?
I asked you where you'd been.
To get a breath of fresh air.
The last cannibals. It could be a tremendous scoop. I just had a very good idea. Have you ever met or heard of Professor Mark Lester, a most famous anthropologist, who successfully carried out several expeditions along the Amazon River?
Why are there still cannibals?
The reasons are many and always of a social origin.
Now, don't forget, young lady, you promised to spend a few days here on your return.
It will be a real pleasure for me. Come on now. Perhaps not all of them were killed.
All right, So for those that don't know, that there was a Emanuelle film. The first Emanuelle film came out, and it was a big success. It was like a softcore adult film. And then the Italians, of course, ran with it and made a million rip-off Emanuelle movies. So
yeah, that was a
and
big
this was
thing.
one of them. Laura Gemser quite frequently played Emanuelle in Joe D'Amato films. So if you are a Joe D'Amato fan, though, I do recommend checking this one out.
Yeah, I agree. If you're not a Joe D'Amato fan and you want to start getting into his movies, it's a good one to start with because it's not as crazy as some of the others. We can put it at that.
Buried Alive.
Yeah,
It's a pretty gory film. It was released under several other, like the Grim Reaper, I think. I can't remember, but that's another movie that you should check out. It's pretty much a straight horror film. If you can call any of his movies straight horror films.
if you could call any of his movies that.
Anthropophagus was a D'Amato movie, but he also did Porno Holocaust, and just he did an A-Tour movie, A-Tour the Fighting Eagle. He did everything. He did Road Warrior ripoffs like 2020, the Texas. What was it? 2020 Texas Gladiators. But he literally, would you say, about 200 movies he made in his lifetime?
Oh yeah, I mean he did every genre imaginable you could think of. I mean, he did adventure movies, he did sorcery movies, he did kung fu movies, drama movies, comedy movies. And this guy died of a heart attack, and I'm pretty sure it's because he was bringing out like 7 movies a year. I mean, seriously. Poor guy.
An early movie he did was Death Smiles on a Murderer with Klaus Kinski. But I love D'Amato. Maybe we should do a D'Amato special episode one day.
Oh, we should. Death Smiles on a Murderer, Arrow Video brought that out, and I've got that one here. It's actually a really good one. He also one of the early ones he directed, co-directed, was Devil's Wedding Night, which is another fun one. I can't remember off the top of my head though that are actually, I would say, well-made movies. They're all kind of crazy.
So last movie, Charles, is You, and it's a doozy.
Dude. An astronaut is transformed into a murderous gelatinous mess after returning home from an ill-fated space voyage. Released December 1977. It is the American body horror film, The Incredible Melting Man, written and directed by William Sachs. And the Incredible Melting Man is not that incredible. It's just
but it did have some incredible effects, right?
It did have some incredible effects from a young Rick Baker. Let's say that. All right. Go ahead, though, Lloyd. I know you like this one. This is your movie, Lloyd.
I think I want to just play the trailer.
All right.
It's a kooky movie,
best.
But yeah, let's play it.
Magnificent. You've never seen anything till you've seen the sun through the rings of Saturn.
Astronaut Stephen West was returning from outer space. But something terrible had happened.
Remember now, his mind is so completely decomposed.
We've got to find him.
He's gonna need human cells to live on.
Stephen West had turned into the Incredible Melting Man.
And the more he kills, the longer he's going to live.
He seems to be getting stronger as he melts.
The Incredible Melting Man is the first new horror creature. Come prepared.
Come prepared. Yeah, I think Incredible Melting Man warrants being on our top 20 list. Look, I've already seen some people that are kind of giving us hell for not picking this movie or that movie, but We've always said, may not be every or all inclusive, but our list is, just some of the stuff that we like.
Yeah.
And we've already gone 2 hours now, so you can't just mention every movie.
There's a lot too. What are you gonna do though? What are you gonna do? I mean, sorry guys. Sometimes there's a few we can't get all of them. It's hard,
It's hard to include everything, and I like picking some of the crazy stuff. Some of this stuff is stuff that we think hasn't been seen as much, and so I think it's great that that's what we want to do, is we want to point out things that we like that maybe not everybody has seen.
Yeah, and of course there's some that we have to include in the list, like a Suspiria, Eraserhead. You have to include those. Martin, Hills Have Eyes. But we try to pick other ones that people haven't seen. Shock, Incredible Melting Man, Shockwaves is another fun one. The Car, Day of the Animals. That's fun stuff,
Yeah. John Kolchak Pertwee says that he's very happy that we've done. He says, thank you for doing this. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to say thank you to everybody that joins us for these things and hangs out with us. This is really what it's all about, is just hanging out with you guys and having fun. So who cares about the list? That is kind of what this is about. Right?
Who cares about the list, man? We're here just to hang out and talk to you guys. What do you want us to say?
That's right.
What else we got?
That was the last movie. We do have our honorable mentions. I don't know how much we can say about The Incredible Melting Man.
Oh yeah.
Stephen Burt, thank you. He just tipped us $20.
$20.
Oh, thanks,
Thank
Stephen.
you for another
Really
fun
appreciate that.
evening.
Thank you, Stephen. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we always appreciate that.
The Incredible Melting Man is definitely not a great movie, but it's got Rick Baker effects, and so I think it's notable for that reason alone.
I agree. I mean, it's a very early Rick Baker, and you can kind of see the growth of Rick Baker from this to like American Werewolf in London. You really can, because it's not as on par with that, but he is definitely the standout of this, working with what he had to kind of take this weird movie to another level. And yeah, that's kind of the big one.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and play the honorable mentions video that Charles put together. And that way you guys can yell at us about any other movies that we didn't include. Okay.
Please.
All right, here we go.
May we remind you that for the convenience of those patrons who prefer not to smoke, seating areas on the right-hand side of this auditorium have been designated as no smoking areas. Your cooperation is appreciated.
Between the two most dangerous animals on Earth.
What in hell are you?
Man and orca.
Full circle. A haunting tale of terror you will never forget.
Blue sunshine. It could happen to you.
It is a film you owe it to yourself to see, but only if you can take it.
Rituals isn't a picnic. You're in for a big surprise.
They are predators. The right move may mean survival, while each moment brings them closer to death. The pack. They're not pets anymore.
Yeah, it takes a lot of guts to go up Whiskey Mountain.
Only problem is, you might never come down.
Watch me when I kill. Rated R.
All right, honorable mentions. There you go. We did get Orca in there. Somebody brought that up.
Allie asked for a weird movie watch that most of them has never seen.
Well, she brought up don't know what Bloodlust is, but looks like something my friends and I. That's a weird movie. It's also known as The Mosquito, right?
Mosquito the Rapist is what it's known as.
Mosquito the Rapist. That's right.
If you want another weird one from '77, that's not really that good of a movie, but it's freaking weird. Is Beast and Heat too?
Oh yeah. Well, that's a
Beast and Heat is a weird movie.
It's a Nazi exploitation flick. So
yeah, that's a Nazi exploitation movie. That's another sadistic weird movie. If you want a weird one, Mosquito the Rapist is kind of weird. Beast and Heat's pretty weird too. So you can watch that one.
I know you can get Bloodlust, a.k.a. Mosquito the Rapist, from Mondo Macabro, so you should be able to find a Blu-ray of that on Amazon.
Yeah.
But there you go.
There's a few weird Nazi exploitation in '77. Bruno Mattei also brought out Women's Camp 119, which is another weird one.
Yeah, Bruno Mattei was good about bringing out weird stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the list, guys. I don't know. What else you got, Lloyd?
Well, that's it. I want to thank everybody for joining us, but I also want to remind everybody that this Saturday we're going to return with a celebrity guest for our Saturday 2 p.m. Central show, and that guest is CJ Graham.
Ooh.
Super excited to have CJ on. We've been trying to nail him down for a little bit, and he was so gracious to accept our invitation.
Well, that is so great. And yeah, we'd love to talk to CJ. That's going to be fun. Looking forward to that.
Tyler Burrows said that CJ is the best Jason besides Ted White. I loved Ted White. He was my favorite. I'm glad to see somebody else believes that as well.
Well, and that's, yeah, I agree. I mean, what do you want me to say? I mean, I do. Right. I enjoy it. I'm going to give away a movie today. I like giving away movies on Wednesdays.
Okay.
And I think what I pull is I'm going to give away a Blu-ray copy of 1960s Hitchcock's The Psycho. So let's do that.
Ah, okay.
That's a good one, right? That's an old school one.
Hey, T West just did a super sticker.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Thank you very much, T West. $9.99 through Super Chat. Sheba Dog. What does it say? Something about Sheba Dog. Something. I missed that.
And Sheba Dog. All right, so I'm going to give away a copy of Psycho to somebody who can name a movie we discussed on 1972, the year in horror. Go! First person.
Okay, what are you watching these?
I don't even know what's going on, dude. I just work here. No, I've got YouTube up.
T West, thank you for putting that on there for that sticker. That's cool.
Yeah, T West.
I appreciate it.
Awesome. We love all you guys.
I'm still watching for an answer.
1972, guys. Give me a 1972 movie that we discussed in our 1972 show.
Okie dokie. I like that. Todd Lewis says Last House on the Left.
Boom! Todd Lewis won.
Is that a winner?
Yep.
Awesome. So Todd Lewis.
Man, everybody came right after each other, guys. Everybody's so close.
Yeah, it was close, but Todd Lewis is the clear winner. Congratulations, Todd. Thank you for watching tonight, and I hope you enjoy the movie that Charles is giving away.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I try to mix up these giveaways, and yeah, I think Psycho's a good one to have. The Blu-ray that's been released in it is really, really good, really well done. So it's a good one to have for your collection.
John Pertwee asks, when's the next one, please? The next one is this Saturday, 2 p.m. That's the celebrity interview with C.J. Graham, and then we'll do 1978 this coming Wednesday, so a week from today.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you guys, 78 and 79 are gonna get nasty because there's some good movies in 78, 79.
We've been trying to get Ali Tapa to come on and host the screening with us Saturday, but we haven't heard. I guess Ali, are you out on that? We'd really like to have you on with us, but if you don't want to, that's cool.
Well, if she doesn't, but yeah, if not, then we we do movie Saturday night. We do a Twitch Prime screening, and we always let the person choose the movie who is going to be watching with us. So we will be watching that. Once we figure out who's going to be hosting with us, they can choose the movie. And I'm putting it out there again, guys. Lawrence Arabia is on there. It's 4 hours and 6 minutes. That's 4 hours and 6 minutes you can spend with Loyd and I. So.
Yeah. Ollie, we asked you on the last show. You may not have been watching when we brought it up, but yes, we would love to have you host with us and pick a movie and the whole thing. So that would be fun. So John Pertwee, he says he can't make it, but he wants to know if we can do a shout out to his lady. Yes, Tara Louise Pertwee. What's up, Tara?
What's up, Tara? Oh, Tara Louise.
I hope you're watching
Pertwee.
and you see this shout out. Thank you. We
appreciate
Tara, John
Tara
for watching
Louise.
with us.
Tara Louise Pertwee.
Sing it, Charles. Sing it, Charles. Sing it, Charles.
Tara. Woo, woo. All right.
Do you have a knife in your hand?
Hell yeah. When I talk about Tara, I pull a knife. Shit.
Dang.
I got scared. We were talking about Joe DiMaggio movies. I gotta get a knife out just in case Lloyd gets too excited.
Aaron Wojowski said, I keep missing you guys live. Dang it. Yeah.
Aaron, we miss you, Aaron, but we appreciate you joining us, though.
That's right. Tyler Burrows says, it's a good knife. It's a good knife.
It's a good knife. It's a good knife, Tyler. It's a good knife, Tyler. Hey, you guys got lucky because I almost gave away a copy of what did I almost give a copy away of? Battlefield Earth unopened on VHS, guys.
Allie says she can't do it because she doesn't have a laptop. Dang it. But you could, what a bummer. But you could, how could we do this then? Couldn't she play the movie? And then, but you could join us on screen while you're watching the movie, right, Allie? I don't see why you couldn't.
Yes. I mean, we're down to work whatever you want to do, Allie.
Yeah, we can work around it. I mean, I know you usually watch the movie and you Chromecast it to your TV, but, if you could get on, like your phone or something, all you got to do is zoom in to be on with us. We'll send you a Zoom link, so.
Yeah, she said, yeah, that should work. Let's do that. I mean, really, just zoom in on your phone and throw it on your TV. I mean, it's going to work. We'll make it work.
Yeah, she says, I should be able to. So, PM us or we'll PM you. We'll get in touch. You pick a movie and we'll go from there.
Yeah, and Tyler, go ahead and shoot us a message on Facebook Messenger for your address. And I'm actually going to not send you Psycho. I'm going to send you a VHS copy of Battlefield Earth. So that's actually what you're getting. Brand new unopened copy.
You can't do that to him, Charles. You can't.
I've got 7 copies of this, guys. So they're coming in the mail.
Oh my Lord! Don't do it to him, Charles. Don't do it.
I'm gonna put it on top of there. It's gonna be like, hey, look
so
what I got.
Chrissy wants to make sure that we tell everybody to check out "Keep My Grave Open" from 1977. That is a Brownie Brownrigg, SF Brownrigg movie. So everybody, that's a recommendation. If you guys have more recommendations for movies that we might have missed, please, after this is over, feel free to drop those recommendations in our comments section. We'd love to hear your recommendations.
Yeah, big year for movies, guys, and we don't pick up all of them. So we definitely like to hear what you guys like from these years. Maybe something we haven't seen either. Say, man, give us something to watch, you know? We've seen a lot of movies, but we haven't seen them all. Let's just say that.
There you go.
And as a reminder, we are still doing our media auction, which ends Saturday. So if you guys want some VHSs and Blu-rays, those are still up for bid. It's going to Irving Cares. I promise if you win a VHS, I won't replace it with a copy of Battlefield Earth unopened, because these are special to me.
Stephen Bird had a good suggestion. The next time we ask a trivia question, anybody that gets the answer wrong gets a copy of Battlefield Earth.
Oh my God, yes. Please. But I gotta have everybody's address ahead of time, so you guys won't avoid telling it to me. I gotta know everybody's address. Everybody's getting a copy. And I will personally sign all these too. If we, for no reason, I'll just sign it, Charles. Here you go. Battlefield Earth. On VHS.
John Pertwee recommends a movie called Vampire with Richard Lynch. So, yeah, check that out. It looks like 1979. But yeah,
Vampire was 79, wasn't it?
Yeah, it had E.G. Marshall in it, but
that was a TV movie, wasn't it? Vampire?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen that one.
I think I know that one, but I have to look it up. I recall it's actually really good. But I have to look. I think Jason Miller's in that. I don't know. I'd have to look.
Yes, he is. I'm looking at it. Jason Miller is in it. It looks like it is a TV movie because it says ABC Sunday Night Movie 8 p.m. That's on IMDb. It says looks like a TV ad for it. But that's cool. I didn't know Richard Lynch played a vampire. I like Richard Lynch.
Yeah. So guys, just beware. We are going to do what Steven said. I'm going to start sending out copies of Battlefield Earth to the losers. So everybody's getting one.
Special edition.
You can put it on your mantle. Just a reminder.
Make it the panty special edition.
I can't. It won't sit up. But I'll draw panties on it for everybody. Right here, a pair of panties. And I'll draw stuff here, and I'll do everything in Japanese for you guys like we did. Don't worry. It's coming.
He's got you all hooked up.
I got you hooked up. Oh, Ali mentioned Captain Kronos. Captain Kronos is a great movie. Love me some Kronos.
Yep.
All right,
Okay,
guys, well,
I think we're done. What do you think?
It's been 2.5 hours, so I think we should go.
Yeah. Aaron Wojcicki says in his Oprah voice, you get a copy of Battlefield Earth, you get a copy of Battlefield Earth, and everybody gets a copy of Battlefield Earth.
I'm going to be walking around Frightmare just like putting these in everybody's random goodie bag stuff. You guys are going to find them later. Be like, sorry.
That's funny.
All right.
All right, guys. So I think we're done. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Thank you for coming on. We had a great time tonight. I feel like I'm getting back in the swing of it after our little hiatus there. So hope you guys enjoyed tonight's show. I'm ready to tackle Saturday as well with CJ. And then we have a mystery movie with Ali Tapa. She is going to pick a movie and we're going to host with her, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's what we do. That's how we roll. All right, everybody. Sounds good. We'll see you guys on Saturday.
See y'all Saturday. Thank you for joining us. We will talk to you soon. I'm Lloyd Cryer. I am with
Carlos Blueberry. That's me.
All right, 10-4, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
All right.